Hi everybody, today we're going to talk about an introduction to modulo, which means we're concentrating on what's left. To get us started, let's think about the days of the week. We have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. When we get to the end of our week, which is Saturday, we don't make up a new day. We go back to the beginning and we start all over. And what we see is a cycle of days that repeat over and over and over again, which is just like the concept of repetition and cycles in numbers. We'll designate a number that we're talking about called the modulo or modulus. After we reach the modulus number, we reset to 0 and we create a repeating sequence. If we go back to the days of the week, our mod would be 7 because we have 7 days in a week. Our notation and basic definition for modulo is A is congruent to B mod n means that A and B have the same remainder when we divide by n. We use a triple equal sign to show that A and B aren't equal, but they are equivalent. This also means that n divides the difference of A minus B. Let's take a deeper look at what it means for two numbers to be congruent. We just said that two numbers are congruent if they have the same remainder when divided by a given modulus. Because the remainder will repeat over and over again, it's going to group numbers into classes. This means that modular congruence groups numbers into equivalent classes based on their remainders. Let's start with a super easy mod, which is mod 2. Mod 2 categorizes integers by their remainder when divided by 2. Which means we either have a remainder of 0 or a remainder of 1. Numbers with 0 remainder mod 2 are even, while numbers with remainder 1 are odd, enabling easy classification of numbers. So for example, 12 mod 2 would be 0 because 12 is even, while 31 mod 2 would be 1 because 31 is odd. Let's take a look at mod 5. When we work in mod 5, the modulus is 5. To find a number's value, mod 5, we divide by 5 and look at the remainder. So let's think about what happens when you divide by 5. If a number is divisible by 5, the remainder is going to be 0. Otherwise, the remainders could be 1, 2, 3, or 4. There are no other possibilities. That's why mod 5 has exactly 5 equivalence classes, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's try a few numbers to see how that works. Let's start with 0. 0 mod 5 is going to be 0, just like 1 mod 5 is 1, 2 mod 5 is 2, 3 mod 5 is 3, and 4 mod 5 is 4. When we get to 5 mod 5, the answer is going to be 0. We start our cycle over again. Remember, we're thinking about what the remainder is. 5 divided by 5 is 1, and I have nothing left over. Going to 6 mod 5, I get 1. 7 mod 5 is 2, 8 is 3, 9 mod 5 is 4, and 10 mod 5 is 0 again. So we continue to go through the numbers, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, then we start over. But in general, instead of having a list of the mods in order and looking at the cycles, we go back to looking at the remainder. Let's look at 27 mod 5. We think about 5 goes into 27 5 times, with a remainder of 2. So our answer of 27 mod 5 would be 2. What if I had 45 mod 5? Well, 5 goes into 45 9 times, and I have a 0 remainder. If I look at 79 mod 5, I really don't need to know how many times 5 goes into 79. I just need to know the remainder. And if you think about multiples of 5, I think about how far away is 9 from a multiple of 5, and the answer is 4. So I can throw away the idea of having to know the quotient. I only need to know the remainder. Let's go back to mod 7. Earlier, we talked about days of the week. There are 7 days in a week, so naturally they repeat in a cycle of 7. That means we can use mod 7 to predict future days. So suppose today is Monday. What day of the week will be 40 days from now? Instead of counting 45 days one at a time, we can compute 45 mod 7. If we use divisibility, we can see 45 divided by 7 is 6, and we have a remainder of 3, which means 45 is equivalent to 3 mod 7. This says if we want to know what day of the week is 45 days in the future, that would be the same as moving 3 days forward from now. So starting on Monday as 0, day 1 would be Tuesday, day 2 would be Wednesday, day 3 would be Thursday, which says that 45 days in the future from a Monday would be a Thursday. Before we move on, I want you to notice what just happened. We divided by 7 because there's 7 days in a week. The quotient told us how many complete weeks passed, but complete weeks don't change the day of the week. Only the remainder mattered. Let's practice mod 7 one more time. Let's try 81 mod 7. To start out, we could divide 81 by 7, which gives us 11 with a remainder of 4, which says 81 mod 7 is equal to 4. You can, of course, use a calculator to get you through mods, but I want to show you a few technology tips. The mod function is a very commonly used operation in mathematics and computer science. Because of that, it appears in many software tools, programming languages, and real-world applications. You'll find mod used in spreadsheet programs like Excel, graphing tools like Desmos, programming languages like Python and Java. You'll also see it in systems that manage scheduling for calendars and repeating cycles. In Excel, to use the mod command, you type equals in the cell. Then you type mod for mod with a parenthesis. First, you put in the number you want to find the mod of with a comma, then you enter the modulus. So for our last example, I would enter equals mod parentheses 81 comma 7 and it would return 4. Desmos will look very similar, you just don't have to put in the equals. Again, I'll type mod parentheses the number I want to find the mod of with a comma and then the modular we're using. For our last example, I would type mod parentheses 81 comma 7 and again I would get 4. As a quick wrap up, I want to emphasize that when you're working with mod n, complete cycles don't matter. We only want to know what is left over. For each modulus n, there are exactly n possible remainders, 0, 1, 2, all the way up to n minus 1.